Hey parents, it's Mr. Jim here. This back to school season, give your kids the tools they need to have fun while they learn with Osmo. Osmo's Reading Adventure Learn to Read game is an interactive tool for kids 5 to 7 that help them practice and develop reading fundamentals. Because it's never too early to fall in love with reading. Visit playosmo.com to check out the Reading Adventure new reader kit today. That's playosmo.com. Osmo, learning well played. Hello friends, it's Mr. Jim and welcome back to Kid Short Stories. Today's story is brought to us by Oliver and Violet. Hey guys, they sent me an awesome idea for a story and you can too. Just head over to kidshortstories.com, send me your idea and maybe we'll turn it into an awesome adventure. You can also find that link down below in the show notes. There's a bunch of great links in there, like how you can turn on the Alexa skill for Kid Short Stories, access all the activities, and more. Are you guys ready for today's adventure? Me too, let's go! It was a rainy day outside as Oliver and Violet were drawing some really cool pictures on some paper. They were using some very amazingly colored pencils that had every single color in the rainbow and more. Hey Oliver, could you pass me that yellow over there? Asked Violet. Yep, here you go, said Oliver. As he handed her the yellow pencil, he was working on a beautiful rainforest picture. He was inspired by a cartoon that was playing on in the background. You see, on those rainy days, it's fun to do art, and maybe you can even watch a show and then turn that show into something real on a piece of paper or build something like it. And that's what they love to do. The show they were watching was some kind of animal adventure in a rainforest, and so they were bringing that creation over onto a piece of paper. It's pretty amazing when you can use your own imagination and create something that's never before existed ever. Yeah, creating something and drawing something, that means you've made that thing for the very first time. It's never, ever existed before. Well, as Oliver and Violet were working on their creations, all of a sudden, something crazy began to happen. Whoa, did you feel that, Violet? Said Oliver. Yes. Did you just shake the table or did the whole ground shake? Asked Violet. It wasn't me, but it definitely felt like the ground was shaking, said Oliver. And all of a sudden, it started again. Whoa! The ground was shaking like there was a giant earthquake. The pencils were rattling on the table as both Oliver and Violet took cover underneath the table. They both had their eyes closed because they were worried about getting poked in the eye by a falling pencil. Ah! And all of a sudden, it stopped. The shaking was over, and they heard a sound. What was that? As Oliver opened his eyes and began to stand up, holy smokes, where did all this dirt come from? How did our house get full of... Violet, open your eyes. Oh, I don't want to. Is there a giant mess in the house? She asked. I don't think we're in our house anymore, said Oliver. Violet stood up and opened her eyes, and she couldn't believe it. What in the world? We're in some kind of very colorful rainforest. Where are we, Oliver? Shouted Violet. It wasn't very long before they realized where they were. Somehow that cartoon on TV had sucked them inside of the cartoon. As they looked down at their hands, they were not their normal looking hands. They were cartoon fingers! Ah! Would that be the craziest thing ever? What if you got sucked into a real cartoon and you had cartoon fingers? That would be pretty wild. As they stood there looking at each other, they couldn't believe it. Violet, I think we're somehow in the cartoon. How did that happen? I don't know. said Oliver. I think it had something to do with all that shaking. It's like the cartoon came alive and I don't know. How do we get out of here? Screamed Violet. All right, there's gotta be a way out of here, said Oliver. They started looking around and walking around. They were no longer in their family room of their house. They had been transported inside of the cartoon that was on their TV. Up in the trees, they could see monkeys jumping and swinging around. Those are so cute, said Violet. Aw, cartoon monkeys are way cuter in real life. Is this real life? She thought to herself. I guess it's kind of real life, said Oliver. It's like real cartoon life. As they kept walking and going deeper and deeper into the rainforest, they came to a very strange-looking pond. It was very small, but it had a weird glow to it, like the water. The water looked almost like a mirror that was moving and made of water. Wow, look at that, Violet. Oliver knelt down to the edge of the pond and looked inside the water. Whoa, look at that. I think that's our house. Look, Oliver was right. In the water, it looked like some kind of transportation, a water thing that it's like their house and their living room was on the other side of that water. So do you think we came in here through there? Said Violet. It kind of looks that way, said Oliver. Then all of a sudden, they heard a terrifying sound. Brum, brum, brum. That was the sound of a ginormous, very angry-looking rhinoceros. Oliver and Violet looked at each other. I think we better get out of here. Oliver was the first to jump into the pond. Whoa! Splash! Violet was unsure, but that rhinoceros looked very angry and was getting closer. This is the strangest day ever, said Violet. 1, 2, 3. Ah! As she plugged her nose and jumped into this strange-looking pond just in the nick of time before the rhinoceros was there. Whoa! Splash! Oliver and Violet were instantly transported back to their house outside of Cartoonland. As they landed splashing on their couch pillows, they looked at each other. Their eyes were both very big. First thing they did, they checked their fingers. Did they still have cartoon fingers? Nope. Normal fingers. People fingers with fingernails. Oh, what in the world just happened? Said Violet. I don't have a clue, said Oliver. They looked around the room and it was like nothing had happened. Their parents were in the other room in the kitchen, I think making lunch. Nobody is ever going to believe what just happened, said Violet. Yeah, but at least it happened with you, said Oliver. Oh, we should probably be careful next time when we're drawing those amazing drawings, because I think that had something to do with us being sucked into the cartoon world. Well, that is quite the adventure that Oliver and Violet have just gone on, and I think they're onto something. I think there's some kind of magic art that they just tapped into that sent them into that magical cartoon world. Well, I don't know about you, but I think I want to start drawing some more. Maybe, just maybe, I'll have some cartoon fingers. The end. Hey parents, it's Mr. Jim here. This back-to-school season, give your kids the tools they need to have fun while they learn with Osmo. Osmo's Reading Adventure Learn to Read game is an interactive tool aimed at children ages 5 to 7 that help them practice and develop reading fundamentals, turning them into young, confident, skilled readers, because it's never too early to fall in love with reading. Watching our youngest play with Reading Adventure this summer, I can see how much more ready he is for when kindergarten is starting very, very soon. Visit playosmo.com to check out the Reading Adventure new reader kit today. That's playosmo.com. Osmo, learning well played. Visit playosmo.com to check out the Reading Adventure new reader kit today. Hey friends, I need your help celebrating 2 birthdays. All right, this first birthday kid's name starts with an M and ends with an N. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday, Mason, who's turning 5 years old. Mason wants to be a shark scientist when he grows up, loves all animals, especially sea creatures, and loves Transformers and listening to kid short stories in the car. Yes. Oh, Mason, I'm so glad that you are a part of the family. You sound super fun and perfect as a part of our Kid Short Stories family. I hope this is the best birthday ever, Mason. All right. And our next birthday kid, drum roll, please. Happy birthday, Agniette, who loves books and short stories and being with friends. Wow. Happy 8th birthday, Agniette. I hope it's the best birthday ever. Great job. You listened all the way to the end, and you know what time it is. It's time for Kid Shoutouts. I want to say to Eloise from Kansas, Cora, Gabriel, Sam, and Isla from South Florida, Harrison, Jane from British Columbia, Alexander from Vancouver, Mason and Marvin from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Teddy from Pennsylvania, Annalise from California, and Ethan from Texas. I'm so glad that you're all in the Kid Short Stories family and on the spy team. We could not stop Dr. Stinky Breath and his crew. Without you, my friends, will you have a super duper day? And I'll see you next time. Bye.